Welcome back to the couch, yo. So in today's couch video, we're gonna be talking about remixing. I've literally wanted to make a video about remixing for a while, so I thought, you know what, that could be a really cool couch topic. So I'm gonna cover a few things about remixing that I think are really good to know if you're gonna be jumping into anything to do with remixing. And I'm gonna try and make sure that I do this whole video in one take without any cuts. I'm gonna make sure I do it. I'm just gonna try and see if I can do that, because sometimes when you're making videos like this, you rely too much on editing and then you cannot just speak your mind and just let it flow without mistakes and things like that. Okay, so let's go. Remixing, I really love it and I've been doing it for a while. I even created a new remix just I think was 2 days ago or a day ago, something like that. I really love remixing, and I love that it's something that is super essential in the house music genre of things. Remixing is a really good thing. I love it because it's a great exercise if you are trying to get into production. Again, no editing. It's a really good exercise for you to really show people what you can do and how far you can take your production and how far you can take something like a simple thing that you are given. Let's say you're given a part, because sometimes when you remix, I like to remix vocals most of the time, especially songs with vocals. You take that idea of a vocal and then you take it to a whole different direction from the original idea that was created by the original composer of that piece of music that you're remixing. I really love that. In hip-hop, they do have remixing, but most of the time I look at sampling as remixing, because a lot of people, they look for samples from old records and things like that, and then they start to flip them and turn them into something completely new, which is to me a form of remixing. But in house music, we do it in our own kind of way that is different, and I feel like it all comes together. It's all basically the same thing. And what remixing really does, and also sampling does, is that it really gets you to express and really show how far you can really take things, because the idea is already there. Like the initial idea that you're looking for is already laid out. That's why I love remixing so much, because when you take a vocal or you take like a song with some instruments parts that you just want to take into another direction, like the initial idea is there, because most of us struggle with getting the initial idea of something that you want to make, and coming up with that great idea that you want to follow and just see where you can take it. We struggle with that initial spark of an idea. For me, I like to play around on the keyboard, see if I can create a chord progression that can spark an idea, or I just look for samples that have an idea that I like, and then maybe I can recreate them or just build from there. But remixing, the song's already done, everything is already there. All you just now need to do is pick up from there, and then you keep it pushing. So now that we've kind of spoke about all of this and set the stage for remixing, why it's cool and all of that, if you guys can also let me know down below what's your take on remixing, because some people are for it, some people are not for it. But I feel like, in my opinion, everyone should be able to remix music. It's a really good exercise, regardless of whether you're gonna let other people listen to those remixes or you're just doing it for you, just to enjoy, and just for you as your own type of practice thing, and then you only release your own songs, your own original songs, without them being remixes. So it's always so just up to you and how you want to do things. Okay, so distribution of remixes is a question I get a lot when it comes to distributing your remixes, like sharing them with people. What do you do? Where do you post them? What do you do when it comes to things like copyright issues and blah 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 and things like that? Let me just say this first and foremost, that obviously remixing, you are kind of infringing copyright. In essence, you are infringing copyright, because you are tampering with someone else's work. That's something that we just have to lay on the table, so we are all in the same place. Unless if someone maybe spoke to you and they were like, yo, I have a latest song that I just dropped and I think you could make a cool remix for it, and then you guys have an agreement and you understand one another. So a question I usually get asked a lot is, can I reach out to, let's say, a big artist that has a song that I want to remix? What I say is, you can try, but most of the time, most people fail to get through to the artist, because most of the time, most artists just don't respond to emails and things like that, because they probably get spammed. Even if you send a DM, that really might not work. But then you really want to push this remix. What can you do at that point? Then you just have to do it, and not really wait for the response from the owners of the music. But that way, depends if you want to maybe really publish it officially and things like that, which is a whole complicated issue because now you have to clear it with them and things like that, or their label. But when it comes to remixing, what I would say is if you want to distribute it, there is two places I think personally you can distribute them, but you have to forget about profit. When you're remixing songs, you have to forget about profit. You are just doing it for the love of the game, just to have fun. You must never think about profiting from someone else's work, which you maybe 90% of the time are not going to get permission or clearance to tamper with that work. So the first place, SoundCloud. SoundCloud houses a lot of remixes, and most people that do share their remixes on SoundCloud don't get any monetary gain from the plays and the attention that they get from there. Is you're just sharing with other people, like, hey, I made a cool remix, you can listen to it right here, it's right here, so people can just listen to it and things like that. So SoundCloud is a really good place to share your remixes. So, and it's simple, it's free. Create a profile, anyone can upload, and people and anyone can listen to your stuff on SoundCloud. And even if you want to share your remixes, you can always just link to SoundCloud. And most people know SoundCloud. It's an easygoing website, and anyone can just log on there and just play it. Even if they don't have an account, anyone can play anything on SoundCloud. So that's really a number one place that I would suggest you post your remixes if you're gonna make remixes. A lot of remixes are found there. It's a really cool place, and I love that SoundCloud allows people to leave comments and shows exactly at what point in time did this person leave a comment, like on the waveform on SoundCloud. That's a really cool feature I like. I also have a SoundCloud where I post also my remixes there. And when I posted my latest remixes on SoundCloud, I noticed that they now have a content ID, something there, which they can detect copyrighted music and things like that. So that's something to also be careful about. And on the issue of copyright and content ID, the second place is YouTube, where you might want to share your remixes. Again, with YouTube, it also has some content ID issues as well. If you post any material that is copywritten, because a lot of musicians release their music officially on YouTube. So if you post something that you remixed and you post it on YouTube, the YouTube algorithm or the YouTube system or whatever is gonna catch that. Even if it's a vocal, if it's a chord progression, or just any piece of music that you're gonna remix, it's gonna catch it. It's gonna catch it and it's gonna tell you that, yo, this music belongs to such and such and such and such and such. They are gonna take 100% of all the money you're about to make, and you're gonna get zero. You're gonna get nothing. That's just how it works. And sometimes, bad case scenario, they might even issue you a copyright strike. But that really doesn't happen all the time. But I'm just saying, it can happen, so don't be surprised if that does happen. And if you get 3 of those, then your channel will get deleted, and that will just be not good. So if you want to release on YouTube, you just want to release 1 remix at a time, because if you release maybe 5 remixes and 3 of them get copyright strikes, your whole channel gets deleted. So that's a risk. That's just something to keep in mind. But YouTube is also a really nice place for you to post. Again, people can leave comments, people can leave likes, and everyone can see, because anyone can access YouTube. So that's another place. So I just try to cover as much questions that I usually get asked about remixing and all of that. But I would love to hear from you. What do you think about remixing? Have you done it? Will you do it? What's your take on all of it? Are you, a purist? You're like, yo, I just released my own music. I will never drop a remix. I'll never touch anyone else's music and things like that. And will you also maybe allow someone to remix your songs? Because for me, I think I've had people release my songs. Recently I had one person remix one of my songs. But you really have to get people that actually offer to be like, yo, I like such and such, one of your songs, do you mind if I remix it and things like that. I've also even had a remix competition and things like that, and a lot of people remix some of my work. So for me, I find it very fun. I would love to hear what other people would do to an idea that I had. I feel like it's very fun. It's something that I just would like to do, and I think that, you as a producer as well, something that you might also want to get into. But yeah, let's have a conversation down below as usual. And I hope I crushed this in 1 take. I think I did, right? I think I did crush this in 1 take. Yes, I kind of stumbled a little bit there in the beginning, but that's what happens with anything. You stumble a little bit. So if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. We are almost at 80,000 subscribers. I really appreciate you guys for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also drop a like, and also say anything in the comments you want to say about remixing. If it's an opinion, if it's something you think about it, what's your take on remixing? If you have any tips for anyone who wants to remix or get into remixing, let them know what they should look out for and things like that, like what I just did in this video, so that we can all have this information. But thank you so much for watching. It's been another couch video. I'm gonna see you in my next video. I'm X and I'm out. Peace.